Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the We Too Are Liberians movement platform. This is your distinct and dynamic platform, the platform that speaks to and for the masses. We are certainly not in the business of manufacturing players, pimps, and hustlers. Rather, we are in the business of changing and revolutionizing the thought process of our people, not only in Liberia, but even around the world. And so you have tuned in today. I ask that you begin to share this live to as many people as possible. We don't have enough time. I would like to apologize for not giving you adequate time to kind of be a part of this live. But we're working on our schedule pretty much, particularly as we approach the 2023 election, which is pretty much just maybe under a month. Yet we, due to work schedule, we try as much as possible to kind of allocate some time so that we can come here on this live, be able to furnish you with or disseminate information here as frequently as possible. We do have a little under a month, like I said, not to sound redundant, but we also want to consider that there are other critical issues that are happening in the country that we as people who have our country at heart, who want to see our country grow and country become better, we would like to speak on some of those issues. And so today, initially, what I thought about as far as today's topic, I was actually going to speak on a topic that pretty much is focused on the election, and which is redistributing the pain, because we understand that our people have been inflicted with this immense level of pain and agony from our current government. And I think it's pretty much important that our people kind of sit back, reevaluate, reanalyze, and do their own self-analysis before they go to the ballot box and cast their votes. I think it's pretty important that our people sit back, think about some of the ills in Liberia, especially. Our people are living in abject poverty. There's a lack of healthcare facility. Unemployment rate is at its highest. And so you can see how people are becoming destitute. People are dehumanized. Also, the extrajudicial killing that it has become even more pervasive and invasive. So those are factors that I think our people should try to consider as they get towards this pivotal time in their lives, time that they can again try to make some positive change through their their choice or decision to cast their vote for the most qualified candidate. Again, this is the We Too Are Liberians movement platform. This is your distinct and dynamic platform, the platform that speaks to and for the masses. We are not in the business of manufacturing placements and hustlers. Rather, we are in the business of changing and revolutionizing the thought process of our people, not only in Liberia, but even around the world. And I am your host, C. Ayiti Williams. If you have tuned in, I'm asking that you begin to share this live. So we're not going to dwell on that topic today because we do have ample time that we can come back, and just dwell strategically on our elections or the elections in Liberia. But what I want to talk about today, today's topic pretty much is the topic that I'm going to pretty much be dwelling on today is a question. There's a question here. Have we allowed our pre-ideological and pre-theological presuppositions to keep us in the box? If it is so, it's time, that we as Liberians, liberate ourselves from mental captivity and these phony missionaries. Again, have we as a people allow our pre-ideological and pre-theological presuppositions to keep us in the box? And if it is so, it is now time that we liberate ourselves from mental enslavement and these phony missionaries. And so today, I want to dwell particularly on the recent issue that occurred sometime like last week. And that was a situation between Jessica Lord and Lucas Richard. Lucas Richard, we know, is a minister from Iowa. He represents the Greek side church. And Jessica is a student from Liberia who is with the indigenous mission. We see here that the two now pretty much, I'm just going to fast track, they find themselves in a relationship. Lucas is married, but he's asking this younger hand to marriage. And so now he they go ahead and get married traditionally and all that stuff. Questions are being asked, yet and still Lucas went ahead and get married to this young girl. Fast track, she's impregnated. She notifies him, and here he is. He injects her with some kind of medication, and she has miscarriage. And fast track, we see the story goes on and on and on and on, to the point where Lucas is attempting to kill this little girl. If it wasn't for a passerby who has seen him to rescue this girl, the story would have been, a disaster. And so, I want to talk to us, as a people, talk to us as individuals, or talk to us here as a nation. I think we have we have as a people allowed. I'm going to break it down when I say theological and pre-ideological presuppositions to keep us in the box. And this is because we have not given ourselves the chance, because if we ask the question, what religion did our parents, or what actually was the religion of our forefathers or our ancestors before Christianity? That should be a question that we should be asking ourselves. And that's why I think the last couple of weeks when I was dwelling on the story of Paul, who was was a Pharisee who had an encounter, and once he had an encounter, who had received a word from the seat of the high priest to go across the territorial lines and begin to kill people. But when he had that encounter, Paul then made a 360 and was doing otherwise. The problem that we have here, even if we can take this a step further to the transatlantic slave trade, where the West, actually, a couple of people had used the same Bible, trick our people, into this whole act of slave trade or slavery. Now, our people were brought here, to America, where they were not slaves, used on plantation, things of that nature. But the question again we can ask: so where? And what the whole Christianity thing is, they had churches around that time. So the with the churches that they had, and they had slaves though, and they had churches. What I want to understand: who were the pastors in those churches? What kind of pastor were there? Because you had slaves and you're a pastor, and there were times where even the church said nothing about what was going on, as far as slavery, as far as the slave trade. Because if these people were Christians, if these people were concerned about the lives of the people, why were they involved in slavery or slave trade? And so we can also now take this a step further to what happened in Liberia. Who are these missionaries? What are their intentions? One may say that some of these missionaries have good intentions. Some of these missionaries are good people. Some of them are here to help our people. But it was the same. It was a missionary that committed that act, though. It was a missionary that went over. A lot of times, I think we should sit back and begin to do some kind of self-evaluation, to reassess. Because if we allow what we have been taught, what we have been told, to overshadow our lives, I don't think we're going to be able to actually step out of the box to reach our full potential. I just wanted to have this conversation because one of the reasons here is that I haven't heard anything from the church. I haven't heard anything from one of our churches. I think the church do have a responsibility, or the church has a responsibility. The churches do have responsibilities to come out when these things happen, to speak up. But I can tell you for a fact that one church would not say anything because they're getting some kind of support from some of these so-called churches. You know, the same Bible that you're using today to preach, the same Bible says that he that knows the truth shall set you free. And I think it's incumbent upon all of our pastors, all of our preachers and the teachers, you know, Sunday school teachers, to do the ministry a service of ensuring that, you know, our people have been taught properly. And I have a problem, man, because, you know, the We Too All Liberians movement is a movement, or is a platform that is here to revolutionize the thought process, to kind of desensitize our people, because we have been stuck. Who was this God? Who was this locust God? Who was this missionary? How can you be a missionary and then indulge in such an act? Because I can tell you without doubt that was an attempt to kill that lady. Now this thing has died down. This thing has died down. I have not heard, or we as a people have not heard anything from the church, one of our pastors, or one of our clergies, or one of our Sunday school teachers, or one of those who call themselves Christian. You understand? It's so heartbreaking, it's so disheartening that we will continue to be under this spell. Because if you're a true missionary, if you have the country at heart, if you have these people at heart, then you will be teaching, you know, the true gospel. And this is why I think we need to question the Bible. One would say, look, Ayiti, what are you talking about, questioning the Bible? Oh, yes. In 1500, the Bible was rewritten. That version that is the most popular version, which is the King James Version. King James have commissioned a group of men to rewrite that Bible, you know, to fit their, you know, to their comfort. If you were created in the image and likeness of God, it implies that you look like a God. You were made in the image and likeness of your God. The God is a deification of the people, which implies that you look like your God. But I do have a problem, and this is a serious problem that I have, that I thought, you know, to speak about. No one, you know, with all the humiliation and the torture, the agony, the pain, you know, and all of that we have been through, we still have not come to the conclusion to realize that we have to now start thinking for ourselves. We have to step out of the box. We have to move from the position where we have the other person doing the thinking for us. And we need to begin to think for ourselves. We need to begin to think critically for ourselves. What religion did our ancestors, what religions were they? What did they practice? Oh, now, you know, the so-called Christian, you've gone to Africa with your Bible. You built all of your schools. You build all of your institutions. Now we can no longer think for ourselves because we have been indoctrinated. No one can even question you, because if you begin to question, someone is going to say, look, that kid does not believe. That kid is arrogant. That kid has a problem. You don't know God? I know God. I know God. The more you know yourself, the more you know your creator. The more you strive to know who you are. The knowledge of self is so critical to knowing who you are and who your creator is. I think my very first live, we talked about the story, I could say that creation, the sperm meeting the egg. You know, you starting as a clot, evolving into an embryo and then becoming a fetus, going through the first and second and third trimester, that dark place, and then you come out. The same book says that if we seek him first, the kingdom of God, his righteousness, all other things will be added, right? So we need to seek, we need to read, we need to do our research. We cannot just sit there and we have these people constantly coming, taking advantage of our people. I think it's about time. And that's why in 1871, people like Nat Turner, a preacher prophet, he stood up to strike a blow for freedom. This is a form of captivity and enslavement, where our people now are believing that these people are coming down to emancipate us, to give us a God. You got to know Jesus for yourself. You got to know God for yourself. And I know that every day, and because you're not giving the Jesus a chance so that you can see him, you continue to look for him in a noun form, when we should be looking for him in the verb form. And that's why when Jesus was sitting with his disciple and they were asking him, when will we see the Father? He told them, he was pretty clear. He said, if you have seen me, then you have seen the Father. This is the time that we need to begin to think for ourselves. We need to move from the position. People have used the pen and paper to sway our imagination. And I think we have a responsibility. Don't just sit there. Let us go back to our history. We're people of rich culture and tradition. Go to Liberia. All of our kids now are speaking English. No one wants to even speak the dialect. What kind of nation are we? What kind of people are we? We need to rise up. I am holding the churches accountable. None of our pastors have said anything. Oh, so Jessica's life is not important. Or the white guy, this is nothing about race. Because when I listened to one of the rescuers, he continued to say the white man, the white man. This is not about race. Whether you are white, whether you are black, I'm trying to state the fact that we do have a rich culture and tradition that we need to strive to preserve. We need to go back to the drawing table. But we have been hit on the head. And so we no longer think for ourselves. We do not even want to dress like our own people. We're even changing our names. We cannot speak our own language or languages or dialects. Now you have moved to Europe, you moved to Asia, you moved to America, and you think you speak Cerise. We have some work to do. We need to rise up from that position where we've been stuck in that box. And that's what it's all about. The question, have we allowed our pre-ideological and theological presuppositions to keep us in the box? Think about it. What if you were born and just left alone, exposed to something else? Let me tell you something, right? You are not probably 90% chance to be a Muslim if you were born to a Muslim family. True or false? If you were born to a Christian family, the chances of you becoming a Christian is wide. And that's why it's important that we as people, we don't even know the God that we serve. He's not a small God. He was bored when he said, it was out of boredom that he said, let us make man in our own image and likeness. After he created the heavens and the earth according to the book, right? So now why would we just sit there for people to come and say they're bringing us this book? in the name of Christianity, in the name of Christ, in the name of God. I am telling you, we see Christ every day. Because look at Jesus. Look at his earthly parents, Mary and Joseph. His dad was a carpenter. But you're looking for him. You want to see him probably come in that, you know, in that form, with diamond, gold, silver, whatever, riches, you know, coming from the cloud. We should be looking for him in the verb form and not only in the noun form. Because you have people that are Christ-like. But you're waiting for the people to come from across. And then they feed you with little, exploit you of your resources, your natural resources, exploit you of your knowledge, because they're taken from you. And the objective is to keep us down, because what they feed you is what you take. And now you eventually become that. So we need to move from the position where, you know, we are thinking for ourselves, because these people they have consistently used the pen and paper now to narrow our thought process. And everything you think about is the West. Everything you want is the West. Nothing is even valuable to you. And that's why you would nickel and dime your own. But you would pay thousands. For what? You pay thousands for a Louis Vuitton belt. You pay $1,000, you know, for some kind of Louis Vuitton shoes or Gucci shoes. That's not who you are. And so we need to hold these missionaries accountable. If no one will speak on this issue, we are willing to die for the truth. This is unfair. This is unacceptable in the name of Christ. What Christ was it? What Christianity, or what book was pregnant and would say that slave obey your master? So to the God, why would you create me to be the slave and the one God the master? But they've used this ideology and this theology to keep us down, so we in a place of servitude, so that we can be subservient to them, so we can be on the lower spectrum. So my common people, they want to keep you down. You don't need them. You don't need we need to search ourselves. The more we search ourselves, the closer we will get to God. The more we search ourselves, you don't even know what you have. He was bored. It was out of boredom that God said, let there be. You have the ability to see, let there be. And it will be. Why would you wake up in the morning, you say, I'm going to work, and you will go to work? You have your whole day planned. This is a shame to the church. This is a shame. One would say that guy should be an exception. I'm not saying all, but we've seen this has become more pervasive. It's becoming more, I mean, it's just so glaring that these people will continue to use us, continue to exploit us, you know, using in the name of Christianity. Telling you and me that when we die, we're going to a place. Or when if you don't abide by that rules, you will be placed in hell. We already living here in hell. Every day, man. Every day we are living in hell. Some people that can't even afford it. Think about the situation that you go through. If we were to be real sincere, honest with ourselves here in America, the things that we've been through or the things that we're going through. If we were to be sincere, why would we allow our pre-ideological and theological presuppositions to keep us in the box? If this is the problem that we have to liberate ourselves from that mental enslavement. And those phony missionaries, they must leave Liberia. If you will go there in the name of Christianity to try to rip us of our natural resources, to try to rip us of our human capacity, Because those children that you are indoctrinating supposed to be the nation builders. They're supposed to be our doctors. They're supposed to be our lawyers. They're supposed to be, our pharmacists. And the list goes on. But you are exploiting our people. You are exploiting our people, and the church has said nothing. This is synonymous to what happened when Dr. King left Ghana after Ghana gained her independence in 1957. Dr. King said when he went to London, I think I should go back to Ghana. Look at the dungeon. There was church there. Well, so what was the church doing when our people were being enslaved? What was the church doing? The church would be exposed today. What was the church doing when our people were being enslaved, dehumanized, locked up in chains? No one said anything. Who was the pastor? I want to see that pastor. Who was the deacon? No one said anything. Now, to take it a step further, Dr. King went to London. On his way back to America. What did Dr. King say? He said that not too far from where the Queen lived was a church. That church has been there for years, for many years. And you have the Queen not too far. And the Queen, she was the one who ran the entire slave trade. They already come to the colonization of Africa. It was just quite recently, I don't want to divert, but Africa, we are one people. They carved us in the 1800s at the Berlin Conference. We need to rise up and begin to reave ourselves. People going to the church, you're taking all the tithes and offering. Enrich yourself. Exploit the people of the resources. I'm willing to die for what I'm speaking. I know I'm speaking the truth. Look at Jesus' life. Look at the life that Jesus lived. If you were to go back to your Bible that you read, look at his triumphant entry to Jerusalem. He had to borrow someone's camel. Look at where he was born, with stinking animals. Look at his earthly parents, Mary and Joseph. Joseph was... I'm sorry, I had some kind of technical problem. I know that the enemies are busy. They're not going to shut this down. I have to run. Try to I have to travel to work, but I have to get this thing out because this thing has been really pounding my heart to speak. And this is critical that we sit there at a round table, all of us. I know some people will be sitting there. You're sitting there and people using you in the name of Christianity. I can tell you about the true Christianity because I know it. Jesus is supposed to be born in Africa. Now where your book tells you he was born. There was no 10th commandment given to Moses. There are 42 negative confessions. One would say that dude is going crazy. But we have to think beyond. We have to go beyond. Think out of the box. When you have your missionary trying to slaughter someone and you calling him the white man, who is he? He's not better than you. Because of the melanin of your skin, you think the darker you are, the more inferior you are. You're not inferior. The book says that you were made in the image and in the likeness of your God. So you should look like your God because you were made in his image. You should be excited that you're dark skin. You should be excited that you're brown skin. Whatever complexion you are. But you will allow someone to come to you. Someone who is giving you a white Jesus to exploit you. I refuse to be subservient to them. I refuse to be subservient to anyone who would take advantage of the disadvantage. And that's why we prepare ourselves to be in the position to speak against these odds. And these are some of the problems that are affecting our people. Why would Jessica go through that? Why haven't heard one church one pastor speak as it relates to this issue. I know we have elections in Liberia. Yesterday we had a pretty intense day with Boca making history. But this is critical. This is critical to our nation building. Because those children that are being marginalized through the so-called Christianity of the church are supposed to be our doctors, are supposed to be our lawyers, are supposed to be our entrepreneurs. They're supposed to be our nation builders. But you've indoctrinated us so that we can be subservient, we can sit back and say nothing. We need to be free. And Dr. King once he said, freedom, look, the oppressor never voluntarily give freedom to the oppressed. Freedom comes with constant agitation from the oppressed to the oppressor. So we gotta press them now. I'm not gonna play with them. I'll tell you, man. Look, Lucas, your church, I'm calling out your church now. Your church has a responsibility because you represent your church. You are from Iowa representing the Creekside Church. It's a shame on you. One would say, what evidence do you have? This has been going on for centuries. Our people were sold. There is no Egypt. There is no Egypt land. Captivity is Egypt. And so if there's Egypt, our people will be emancipated. We have been emancipated from that captivity. And if you think that we are not going to get to the promised land, maybe we're at the Red Sea, maybe some of us won't be able to see that, but Liberia will be better. We will educate our people, not only biblically, but we will make sure that politically they are inclined, they are informed, educationally, information will be disseminated. This is unfair. I'm questioning that particular pastor or that minister who took advantage of the young lady. And it has been days we've not heard anything from any pastor whatsoever addressing the issue. Talk about church make a statement and this, that, and the other. What's going on? A church is taking up the whole block. You have a lot of work to do here. You should be missionary in your own country. You have people all in the ghettos. Go and take care of them. One would say, I'm speaking for all because I have a moral responsibility to step in. Using scripture. There's a whole lot of verses in the Bible that we enemy. I'm having some kind of technical problem. But we would not stop. This particular live is going to be ongoing because our people will have to be liberated from this mental captivity. This is the We Too All Liberians movement platform, the platform that speaks to and for the masses. We are not in the business of manufacturing players, pimps, and hustlers. Some of the pastors now are pimps. Sissies can say nothing. What kind of pastor are you? Only there for the money. What kind of pastor are you? And that's why our country is so far behind. Because you guys are not examples. And that's one thing I was saying the last time, that the Jesus that we talk about, he's no longer in a lot of those churches. The Holy Spirit is not. Those churches are operating as usual because Jesus is not there. And so you're praying, you're fasting, you cannot get any result. The same Moses said to Pharaoh. It was God through a telegram to Moses. He said, go tell Pharaoh to let my people go. I'm asking you, missionaries, please let our people go. Please let our children go. Please leave us alone in the name of spreading the gospel. But you know you're having an ulterior motive. You know you have some kind of intention. You know, the devil coming now but to steal, kill, I will use your text, and to destroy. But the one who has come to give life and to give it more abundantly, that one people don't even like. You know, we're not here to play around. We want to make sure that each one will help one. We have a moral responsibility to make sure that our people are informed, they're not misinformed. Read your Bible. Spend some time with God. When some of them, they have their jets. They have their institutions. You can't pay your rent. The children are doctors and lawyers and, you know, and the whole 9 yards. I'm not saying you don't have to be a doctor to be successful. But why would you be living here on earth? Enjoying, you know, what God has given us. We're supposed to have, you know, we're supposed to have dominion and power over the earth. But they're giving you information to keep you down. You're waiting, right, to go there before you can reach your full potential. But I can tell when you die, you're going back to the dirt. You know why you're here? You came here to go right back to where you came from. But God is the Bible says, greater is he that is in you than he that's in the world. We're asking God for little things, asking God for furniture, asking God for car. He said, I don't make furniture, I make trees. I don't make cars, I make iron ores. So we have the mental capacity because he has given you the ability to think beyond the box. Too many things happening in that country. I want to stay strategically. I have to stay on the topic. Have we allowed our pre-ideological presuppositions and theological presuppositions, the things that we were told, that we were taught, is it affecting us? That we are even afraid to try new things, to read, to research, to tap into knowledge. Do you know what you carry? You carry power. You carry knowledge. Do you know what you have? But our inability to step out of the box has kept us down. We're not making no strides. We're not even making strides. We're not trying. We're not trying to develop ourselves. The moment you engage and start asking questions when people can't answer the questions and say, oh, you know what? But you need to believe. Believe what? Because if it was so, then Jesus would have never done otherwise. But Jesus challenged the status quo. He challenged the Pharisees. And that's why he was prosecuted. So we can do the same. We have to fight for our people. Jessica, I apologize to you, you know. Who knows if she will ever be the same? In the name of Christian minister. And that's why you have the millennials. They're questioning, they don't even want to go to church because of what's happening around them. God has done so much. He has given us power. We as Africans, Liberians, well, you know, the division, the divide has caused us, has weakened us. Your first university was in the city, the University of Sankore, in the city of Timbuktu. Your second university, those are the very first university. Second university, University of Genève, was in ancient Ghana. The father of medicine. It's not Hippocrates. You know, they're facts. You know, before bridges, these bridges that you see were built, your people built them. They built bridges. They built bridges. But people ain't them. So now you have built these bridges to span rivers, you know, submarine to go down oceanic depth. But we're still taking advantage of our people. These people are still taking advantage of you. We need to rise up. We need to step out. We need to step out of this box. We need to move from the position where you have the other person doing the thinking for you. People have used the pen and paper to sway our imagination. So again, today our topic, we need to think about it. Have we allowed our pre-ideological and theological presuppositions, the things that the people told you, that when you were engaged and you start having conversations, you say, I don't want to listen to that though. I can't listen to that. That was not what I was told. If it wasn't so, then God would not give you your brain. He wouldn't give you the mental capacity. Why are you not still walking on your bare feet? You're wearing shoes, right? You're wearing clothes. You're driving. You should have been walking. You can try that, right? You want to move to the West and advance yourself. You want a new car. You want a better life. You want to amass wealth. You don't even want to research. Success is not, man, you would not be measured not by the cars that you drive, not your bank account. And the ones with all the degrees, more than a thermometer, all the degrees you have, you're still sitting there, you're still in the box. When our people were being enslaved, we can never have our history is tied to the transatlantic slave trade. And the reason why, because we are Africans. Look at what's happening in Haiti. These people. Why will one go over there in the name of missionary? Please, you have a whole bunch of people that you need to take care of here that are all in the street. I drive around. I have betters. Go talk to them. You leave them and you're going to Africa? Lucas, you have a responsibility. You're not going to go free. Because you have people who are knowledgeable, who knows exactly what's going on, and we are going to call you out one by one. This is only the beginning. And we want to thank God for the advent of technology. And we will hold you people responsible. Again, this is the We Too All Liberians movement, the movement that speaks to and for the masses. You know, we are not in the business of manufacturing players, pimps, and hustlers. You got pimps in the church. We're here about changing and revolutionizing the thought process of our people. Please step out of the box. Please rise up from thy mental captivity. Rise up. Search. Do some soul searching. The more you know yourself, the more you know your God. Look at how distinct you were made. Look at your eyes. Look at your mouth, your hair. Look at you. Why would you think that no one is supposed to have? You are to subdue this earth. You are supposed to have dominance over this earth. You were supposed to be able to control the earth. You was made for that purpose. People putting contraption on mass. We're still begging. Look at the advancement in technology. We're still begging. Our people are exploiting they about, I want to be president, I want to be representative. Look at the things that are happening. People are dying. I'm not going to bore you people. I think I got to get off this live. But I want to thank you for, just listening. I want to thank you for tuning in. This is something that's on my mind. And I had to say something. I'm not a pastor, but I think we have a responsibility as people to speak the truth. Pastors. And that's why I said the last time when I was speaking on that Richmond issue, that our churches, our pastors and our preachers, a lot of them should be going to court for malpractice. They should be going to court for malpractice. If I was a lawyer, I'll ensure that they go to court for misinforming our people, for the lies, the hypocrisy. You need to take care of your situation. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Leave our children alone. Our children need to grow up to contribute to our society. Lucas, I know it was tough. I know it's difficult. I know for a fact if Lucas had it, if not Lucas, if Jessica had the opportunity, everything that happened to Jessica, one would start trying to put her under the bus to demean her. But you never walk a mile in a person's shoe, or you cannot. You can, until you walk a mile in someone's shoes. Never try, to demean that person or to throw that person under the bus. We have to be there to console, each other. Each one help one. We have a responsibility. Those of us who have come, ahead, we need to reach back now and pull these people. The people were emancipated. They were promised 40 acres and a mule. But when they were emancipated, they said that they should pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. But you free the God, but you give him no boot. So where's the bootstrap now? And that's where we are. So we need to think, people go on these social media platforms and using gibberages and all that kind of stuff. Terminology, because you went to Harvard University, you went to Princeton, you went to Yale and all of that. They indoctrinated you. Who owns the university? So who taught the guy who got the degree? His PhD. So when they give you some kind of PhD, you say, oh yeah, you have arrived. When he says he's a medical doctor, we still have a lot of medical issues that we can't solve. He says as a sociologist, you still have social problems that you can't solve. So we need to move from the position now. The other person doing the thinking for us. I don't want to sound redundant. I want to thank you for viewing. Thank you for watching. I have been your host. This is the We2 All Liberians movement platform, the platform that speaks to and for the masses. We are not in the business of manufacturing players, pimps, and hustlers. Rather, we're in the business of changing and revolutionizing the thought process of our people. I have been your host. Thank you for watching. This is Ayiti Williams. Look forward to talking to you here probably in the next couple of days. As we approach the election, I think I'll have to make some time to begin to be on this live here as frequent as possible. But what I want you to think about here is, if you have allowed, and I think all of us, because I was once upon a time in the situation where some of you guys are. I was right there. Everything that they gave me, I never questioned it. But God's going to hold you responsible because he gave you your intellect, he gave you your mind. They're amassing for themselves wealth, building the skyscrapers, and telling you that if you die, you go to hell. Actually, there was a story about a group of people on this ship. I'm gonna close with this one. And this ship, actually, I would say it was moving maybe from Africa, was going to Europe, and this ship kind of capsuled. Tons of people on the ship. You had about 1,000 people on the ship. So you had the smaller fish went down there, they ate all those people. The bigger fish went down there, boom, grabbed those people, ate them. The big fish ate the smaller fish. Now you had a fisherman who went there, he grabbed the big fish, killed it, he took it to the marketplace and sold it. In fact, he cooked some of it and they ate it. So they're telling you that when Jesus comes, you know what will happen? Everybody that died will get up. We'll have to go now for judgment. So what will happen to the people that the fish ate? What will happen to them? Where will they be coming from? We have to open our eyes. Lucas, the Bible says, you be not deceived, for God is not mocked. What a man sow, that shall he reap. Whatever if you call yourself Christian, if you have good intention, if you have bad, whatever intention you have, and you're going to Africa to exploit our people of the resources, the human capacity, in order that to keep our people down so that we can be subservient to you guys, you'll have a price to pay. Again, this is the We2 All Liberians movement platform. This is your host, Charles Ayiti Williams. Thank you very much for watching. I think I gotta go now. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.